Old saying, gang, there's no business like show business, but what about when those in the business are 3, 4, 5 years old, maybe even younger, huh? Traveling around the country to participate in beauty pageants, auditions, TV shows. Tonight we meet some showbiz types who say parents who enter their kids in beauty pageants are exploiting them, and worse. These children become shallow, egotistical, and unable to cope as they grow older. Plus, we'll hear from the parents of little starlets who say they're fed up with the accusations against them and their talented kids. So here she comes, baby, Little Miss America. Let me swing around and give your scorecard some names for the fitting the faces here. At home base, we have Beverly Hill, who's a show business mom. How you doing?
Hi.
How you doing, Bev?
Good.
We've got Angel Gunnershag, who is a show business mom, who sits at home base with us. And at loudmouth number 1 from KFI Radio in Los Angeles, the top radio talk show host out there. Old pal of mine by the name of Tom Likas. Tom, how you doing?
Okay, Mort.
Hey, you lost a little weight, huh?
Quite a bit, actually.
Your divorce final?
The divorce is final.
Divorce
yes.
is final. Got a new girlfriend?
Yes.
Sitting in the audience?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me start with Beverly first. Bev, your daughter Tina participated in her first contest at the age of 4 months, right?
That's right. Of course, it wasn't in her choice. There was a J.C. Penney's Cutest Baby contest, and I was a diabetic, and I had Tina, and I felt really lucky to have her, and I thought I was a fortunate mother, and of course, I think we all think our kids are the cutest in the world, so I entered her in the pageant, and she won.
At 4 months old?
Yeah. Well, you sent the picture
Was that for her benefit or your benefit?
Well, I think it was just for benefit of something fun to do. I don't think it was for anyone's benefit.
Fun to do for the kid or fun to do for you?
Well, it was fun for me when Tina was 4 months old to enter her picture and someone say, yeah, she really is cute.
Oh, so you didn't have to bring her in herself?
Later on, you had to bring the child in after the preliminary.
By age 5, she had been involved in over 100 beauty pageants. She's
That's
5
right.
years old now, right?
That's right.
All right. Why have you entered your daughter in these events?
Well, it was a positive experience for me. I went through the Miss America program, the scholarship program, and I found that it was extremely beneficial to my life, and then I learned to do things like interview, and I learned to apply makeup, and I learned to converse with other people, and I learned a lot of good things out of life through being in a scholarship program. And so when I had this little girl, I thought, well, I want her to try it and see if she likes it.
Were you happy doing it?
Extremely. I always wanted to direct the pageant.
Were you a drum majorette?
No.
Play on your high school basketball team?
No, I wasn't.
Class president?
No.
Belong to a sorority?
No. I wasn't any of those things. I was a tap dancer. So I was in a kick line of like the Rockettes when I was 14 years old. And
was that because that was part of your training for your beauty pageants that you were entering?
Well, my mom really didn't train me to be in beauty pageants. My mom put me in tap dance class when I was 3 years old.
Because she wanted you to be another Shirley Temple.
Well, I think she just wanted to give me some coordination, and that's what it did. And then I took a liking to it, and I really loved to do it.
Okay, what makes your daughter so successful at 5 years old?
Tina makes herself successful at 5. Now, when she was 2.5 or 3 years old, she was doing them because Mommy put her on the stage, and she did it, and she liked doing it. Then one Sunday afternoon, and they don't do it all week long. They only have the pageants in California on Sunday afternoon. So we put Tina on the stage, and after the pageant, she said, I don't want to do it anymore. And so I said, okay. You don't have to do it.
But you won't get a doll for Christmas?
No, I didn't say.
anything.
I never said that. No, in fact.
You're down to half rations?
No, we never do that. That's all. I don't know where people think that. No.
She didn't want to do it. What changed your mind?
I don't know. She was only 3 years old at the time. So we took her out and we didn't do it. Then one Sunday afternoon, we were driving around and there was a pageant going on. And I said, oh, yeah, they're having a pageant there today.
Oh, my God, Miracle of Ball. Miracle, sweetie pie. Mommy drove by a pageant. 290,000 square miles.
That's right.
And Mommy drove by the one pageant they were
That's
having.
right.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of them in California. But I did drive by the pageant.
There's nothing else to do out in California.
That's right. So we drove by.
Except you guys in Los Angeles.
And Tina said, but I want to go in. And I said, no, Tina, you said you didn't want to do it and you're not dressed and, so let's go home. Oh, no. And she started throwing a fit, as children will do. And so I said, okay, we'll go in and watch. And we got in and she saw the little girl. She said, please. And she started crying, please put me on the stage. I want to do it. Look, I want to do it. And so I put her on the stage. And ever since then...
Without the proper clothes or anything else?
Yeah, she just had on like a little cotton dress, and we just had spaghetti, and she had some spaghetti in her dress.
And she probably had accidentally a cute little tiara on or something?
No, she didn't. You don't wear tiaras to the pageant. No. You win the tiaras. You don't wear them.
Okay.
And she had...
Did she win that contest?
No. She had a beautiful smile on, though.
Okay, so what did you say when she came home she didn't win the contest?
I didn't say anything. I was thrilled to death because the 3-year-old division was over and we had to put her in the 4 to 5-year-old division, and she got second runner-up. And she won a doll and she was real happy, and I said her,
What would have happened if she came in last? Right?
Nothing.
What happens to the little kid who comes in last, whose mother has built up such phenomenal expectations in this kid?
But that's the key. You don't build up expectations.
You don't do that.
Absolutely not. The most important thing about the pageant is not the winning and not the losing. It's how you play the game.
If that's the reason Vince Lombardi was right, why the hell do we keep score?
Well, I don't know. Other people keep score, but it's sure helping my daughter become, and you'll see when she comes out here, she pulls me around. I mean, she will, I hope she'll charm you. I think she will.
How far did you go in beauty pageants yourself?
Well, I never won the big ones. I was always Miss Congeniality, and I had the most fun, and I always wanted to be the director of the pageant. I was never the prettiest, but I won a lot of scholarship money, paid my way through college, and I met a lot of people. I built up my civic contacts to where I went to work for the Chamber of Commerce after that, and it was an incredible experience.
What do you do now for a living?
Well, I worked for the Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce until a year ago, and now I've stopped to manage my daughter in show business.
Tom Likas, what you have heard tonight, today, wherever the hell they're showing this show, what time of day, is this typical of show business mothers? She says she's now managing her daughter in show business.
I'm not surprised about this. I'm hearing a lot of adjectives here that indicate shallowness. I'm hearing that charm is important. I'm hearing smiling is important. It seems to me that the only values you're teaching your kid are that being beautiful is the most important thing, making money and being charming is important. There's nothing underneath. It's a veneer.
Absolutely not true, sir.
Of course it is true.
Absolutely not true.
Oh,
I have never taught my daughter that the important thing is to be beautiful, because it's not.
That's what the beauty pageant teaches people.
Absolutely not.
Of course it does. Are you telling me that adult beauty pageants don't teach this kind of shallow nature? Have you ever sat through a Miss America or Miss USA pageant?
Yeah.
Hi, I can knit a hamburger. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break.
First of all, let me say something more.
Let me hear the lady, please.
I'm not a professional fighter, as obviously you are, and have a lot of experience doing it.
Fighter?
But I'm not near as eloquent as you are, and don't want to be attacked.
You're already copping out on me here.
I'm not copping out. I'm just saying I'm a lady, and this is a situation that I don't feel.
Look, this isn't the Mike Douglas show, lady.
About.
We're here to have a discussion, and we're going to have it out today about this, because I really believe that you're hurting your daughter. I really do.
When you see my daughter, I want you to say, Tina, how do you feel about this? And see what her answer is, and say to her,
great. Yeah.
Did your mother make you do this?
And the Iranian hostages with a gun to their head all said, oh, yeah, we're okay out here. We're fine.
That's not true.
Yeah, give me a break.
They don't have guns to their head. That's not true. That's not true.
come on, aren't you being a little harsh here, pal? I mean, just because you and I couldn't win any beauty pageants.
Absolutely
And just because
not.
your wife ran off with a cameraman. Huh? These guys are all like
Absolutely
cameramen
not.
on television shows are all horny. So don't
I know. I understand that. I read Linda Ellerby's book. I know about this. Now, seriously, I believe that beauty pageants teach one thing, and that is to be beautiful is the most important thing. To charm a guy into handing over all his money is the most important thing. That's what they teach.
I'm not so. Let me go to Angel just here a second. Angel, your daughter, I believe, is
Kirsten.
4 years. Kirsten, right? She's 4 years old now. We're going to meet that young lady shortly. She's also won many beauty pageants. You stated that you'd like her to become a supermodel. Will her early victories help her attain that goal?
Absolutely. I believe in that 100%. I think, as this gentleman is saying, that you're only exploiting your children and you're making them think that beauty pageants are only for beauty. I don't think that's true.
Well, why do they call them beauty pageants? Why don't they call them?
Yes,
why don't they call them ugly pageants?
They are
Who was
beauty.
the last fat,
It is
pimply-faced,
beauty.
ugly winner of a beauty pageant, huh? There's never been one. This is not a talent contest. It's a beauty pageant. I'll call it what it is.
It's a combination of everything.
It is not.
It's a combination
Oh,
of everything.
yeah, look at all the talent that comes out of these contests. Give me a
You
break.
were at a little child's beauty pageant. When's the
You
last
want to go
time?
down there and get in his face, you go.
When is...
Yeah.
Go.
I promised my husband I wasn't going to get mad.
Oh, really?
But I'm mad because, wait a minute, my little girl has learned so many things from the beauty pageant. No, wait, let me finish, sir,
Haven't
please.
said a word yet.
I know, and please let me.
Go ahead.
Because this is something that I dearly love to talk about, because my daughter has only had good things happen through the pageant.
Like what?
Now, okay, let me tell you, my daughter's going to come out of here and sing for you. And if she hadn't been on a runway and on a stage to perfect her talent, where would she have learned her stage presence? Where am I supposed to take her? To a
Stage
nightclub?
presence for 4-year-old kids. This is the most important thing a kid can learn is stage presence. This kid has no childhood. This
My
kid has
daughter-
no childhood.
My
You've
daughter
taken it
plays-
away. There is no innocence left.
My daughter plays with Barbie dolls. My daughter does her pageants on Sunday afternoons. My daughter sang last Sunday night to help raise money for child abuse, for the Child Abuse Foundation of California. My children is an example to other children. Do you know, sir, that there are drugs in our elementary schools? My daughter will have nothing to do with those. She has better things
How do
to
you
do with
know?
her time.
How do you know?
I heard it on this program.
I
That's
don't
all
care where
know.
you heard it. How do you know your child won't have any problems with drugs? You can't predict that. Drugs are rampant in this country.
My child is interested in other things, and therefore my child won't be as interested.
Other things. Very limited
I
range,
hope
though,
to
I'll have you
God,
know.
wait a second,
Why
Tom.
is
I
my
hope to
child
God.
supposed to be interested?
I hope to God Beverly is right, all right?
Thank you.
But I hope she is right. I do think there are mothers, I don't think Beverly's one of them, but I think there are mothers who use this medium, this so-called showbiz, because they are so frustrated at their own failure in their lives that they force their kids to make up for their life.
I never failed in my life.
And what?
I never
didn't say
failed.
you did
I
yet,
know.
baby doll.
He made me mad,
All right?
not you.
It's all right.
He made me mad.
But I do think, I'm glad she did a child abuse show,
Thank
because
you.
I think some mothers, this is a form of child abuse. Now, we're going to meet a casting director who says, just say no to pageants for kids. Next. The accusations are made by people in this studio, by people outside, by people in show business, talent agencies, that the worst thing you can do to kids is to force them into these talent shows. The accusation has been made against this mother that maybe she is living her life through the talent of her daughter.
And I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. I've had it from every person in the media, which, excuse me, but that's where you come from. And if you want to further your career by being on the Morton Downey Show, fine. But I'm here because
What are you doing here?
I am not here
What are you doing here? Give me a break. Are you
This
here to
is
do a
not-
public service listen, something. You're here to further your career and your daughter's career, so don't come up with any highfalutin accusations
on the
against
Morton
me.
Downey Show or sitting in this chair because I don't have the strength to stand right now is not helping my daughter's career, okay?
Oh, no?
It is not, no, sir, it's not helping.
Well, you're not going to bring her out here tonight, are you?
My daughter?
Yes, we are.
We're going to bring her out. She's going to sing. You want her to sing?
You're doing this as a public service, of course. You're doing this to our benefit, right?
I'm going to tell you something. First of all, I'm not a pageant mother or show business mother. First of all, I am a mother. And you're looking at a woman who was told, don't have a child, you'll die doing it. And I had a child anyway. I didn't have to live my life through her. I have an incredible, exciting life. I've had more fun in life and more experiences than you, sir, would care to dream about.
Oh, really? Well, we're all very happy for you,
Well,
but it's
thank you
irrelevant to
very
what we're
much.
talking about
So
tonight.
I don't have to live it through my child.
Tom, let me ask you, Tom, you got any kids of your own?
No.
Oh, well, now, well, let's have a single guy come up and put the mother down.
Better not to have any kids than to put kids through the kind of hell that I've seen some of these kids go through. You say your kid won't be involved in drugs,
They don't
and I
go
hope
through
not.
hell.
But I look at some of the child stars of the past. I look at Judy Garland, who killed herself ODing on pills. I look at people like Elizabeth Taylor going through detox. These people are miserable. They've lived as
Let's talk
miserable
about that are dying
adults.
from drugs today.
That's right.
What about all the common people who are dying from drugs that are not
That's
celebrities?
not the point.
They all have
There are a lot of people dying.
You can't say because your kid is in beauty pageants or because your kid is going to be a little actress or singer that she's not going to get involved in drugs. How dare you? You don't know. I hope not, but you don't know.
I'm going to tell you something. I know she's not going to because most in our household.
You do.
That's exactly right.
Well, we should all be clairvoyant like you.
No, I take my child to church on Sundays. I do good things for my children. She gets more love in 5 minutes than you obviously have had in a lifetime.
All right, let me introduce, please, if you will, let me introduce Tricia Erickson of the Erickson Casting Agency. Tricia, as a casting director for major motion picture organizations, you deal with attractive adults all the time.
And not so attractive.
And not so attractive, all right? Well, what effect do you feel beauty pageants have on kids who compete in them, and do you cast those kids?
First of all, I do not want to participate in hurting anyone's feelings. I have a lot of compassion.
Very sweet.
And I think that this lady, come on, I think that this lady really believes in what she is doing.
I do
and
too.
everyone has the right to their own opinions, all right? And
I
she
do too. I
really
think
believes that
she's
she's doing the best
what she
thing.
thinks is best for her kid.
All right. I think there are a lot of parents out there that are doing this that really believe fully that they're doing what is best for their child.
Do you think there are a lot out there, too, who also are doing it to
they're
please
naive.
themselves?
What I'm saying is they're naive. I don't care whether it's to please themselves or not or this or that. They're naive if they think that their daughters or their sons are going to get anywhere professionally in this business. Now, what I think, the reason why I think they do this is because of the exposure and to get their child out so that maybe a casting director or a talent agent will discover them and put them
And a
maybe
certain
in a
amount of
movie.
competitiveness, which is exciting for every human being.
That's right.
But they want their child to be famous. They want their children to have all the good things in life. But I personally have never hired a child out of a pageant for a commercial or for a major motion picture. They are too stiff. They're like Barbie dolls. They're like
They're always dressed like Barbie dolls.
they're like Stepford wives' children. They are programmed. They are programmed.
Well, on the other
to
side of the coin, though, Tricia, Toby Gibson is with us tonight.
Right.
Toby, you're president of Young Talent. As president of that organization, you attend children's beauty pageants to find tomorrow's stars. Now, are you encouraging kids to become superficial, egotistical, and shallow?
I didn't say
and
that.
indeed, have you yourself found any stars among the kids?
I'm a personal manager, and I have judged many talent pageants. And while you say that's a Barbie doll walking down the runway, the child is not a Barbie doll once she gets off the runway, because I have a number of clients that I manage, young kids that are marvelous. I mean, some of them done as much as 35 national commercials. Maybe you wouldn't have hired them because you thought they were pageants. But my kids that do pageants, when they get off that runway, they are America's backyard kids.
How many kids do you manage?
I manage about 30 youngsters.
About 30 youngsters. Of those 30 youngsters, how many have done national commercials?
About 20.
Of those 20 kids who have done them, how many are earning better than $10,000 a year?
15.
Of those 15 who have done them, how many are earning better than $50,000 a year?
About 5.
About 5. So our percentage radically drops.
It
And if
fluctuates.
they're national commercials indeed, and they're only making $15,000, they must be only being shown in Des Moines, Iowa.
No, I thought you said 50.
Said 50 the last time, but
Most of them are right up there. But the thing is that I have to bring out is that I think you're going to find a minority of kids maybe that you say are precocious, spoiled, or whatever, but you cannot judge a whole industry by a basket of bad eggs.
What are the mothers? Let me ask you a question.
My mothers are wonderful.
Of course they are.
I don't want to sound like a stepford wife.
No.
My mother is wonderful.
No, let me ask you a question.
Because that's how I break them in.
Let me ask you
Really?
a question. Do fathers make good parents?
Do fathers make good parents? If the marriage is right, they make wonderful parents. If there's trouble in the
I
home...
raised 3, all right, by
Yes.
myself with no wife, all right. 3 very nice girls. So I'll give you the answer. The fathers make good parents. Have you ever had a father bring in a daughter to you to have exhibited on the runway?
Yes.
All right.
Not too often.
How many? You got 30. How many of them come from fathers?
Maybe about 5.
Oh, come on now.
No, really, a great
No.
percentage is the mothers.
Come on, honey, level with me. You're telling me 5 of your clients, of your 30 clients, that the fathers bring them into you?
No, they don't bring them in all the time. They brought them in the first time for the initial interview.
With the mother?
With the mother.
Okay, yeah.
I interview both
Tom,
parents.
you've heard it, baby. What do you think of Miss Gibson
I think
here?
the key word here is industry. That's exactly what this is. They are factories. These are farms. You are manipulating and using these kids to make your own living.
Close
It
up
is
the
an
dance
industry,
schools.
and I'm glad you called it what
Close
it is
up the
instead of
dance
calling it a
schools in
profession
all of the
or something
small towns.
honorable.
George, can I please
Close up
interject
the
Let me hear
and say,
Bev.
I
Let me
want
hear
to
Bev
tell
a
you
second.
Close up the
something.
whole
Shelby, let me hear
entertainment
Deb a
media.
second.
First of all, my daughter has an agent in California whose name I'm not going to say. I think she's the best, and she's worthy of saying, but I'm just not going to bring her into it. But I want to tell you that the last thing she says to me when she gives my daughter the call is, no bows and no crowns. I don't want Tina Brocious, the beauty pageant kid. I want that real kid I auditioned in those jeans and those tennis shoes that was acting like a kid playing with other kids.
Then why don't they have the kid in those outfits in the beauty pageant?
Well, I think there's other reasons that they have them at the beauty pageant.
Have you ever run beauty pageants?
I've judged them. I've never
What are
run
the
one.
reasons the kid has to be in a designer tutu, huh? I mean, why?
I think
Some
they-
kids don't have money. Are you telling me poor kids can't be in these pageants?
Well, I'm a poor
They get
mother.
sponsored.
Excuse me.
How
I
much does it
manage
cost
an
you for the
apartment
dress
building.
that your daughter's going to wear tonight?
Not one thing. You know
You
why?
made it yourself.
No, because
She won it, and she wears it, and you get
no,
a credit.
we get sponsors, and that's how a smart mother does it. Now, these pageants are not for every child. If a child won't walk down the
Not
runway,
for
don't
ugly
make her
kids.
do it.
Not for ugly kids, you're saying.
That's not true. My
Can ugly
child
kids,
is not the most
can
beautiful
ugly
child.
kids enter your child's adorable. You
My
kidding
child
me?
is not,
Your
compared
child's
to her
adorable.
child, my child is.
Oh, let's not get into that.
Can I say something? Wait a minute.
Go ahead, Angel. Tell you what, I'll show you. I'll show you. Let's draw the line right now. Next, it's the Morton Downey Children's Beauty and Talent Show with 3 of the most successful contestants who participated in these pageants in the entire nation. It's coming up. Watch it. Let me introduce 3 of the most beautiful young ladies in the entire world. And they're on stage with us tonight, all right? First, we have Kirsten Gunnershag. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi.
How are you, sweetheart? You okay?
Yeah.
Do you like wearing dresses like that?
Yes.
You like being in beauty pageants?
Yeah.
Does your mom like you being in them?
Yes.
Do you get kind of special prizes for being in the beauty pageants? What do you win? Dolls?
Yeah.
Money?
Yeah.
What do you do with the money?
I buy something.
You buy something, okay. And our second guest is Kimberly Petralis. Kimberly, you're how old, sweetheart?
I'm 6 years old.
How many beauty pageants have you been in?
Well, I don't know.
Well, let's see. You've won 14 titles and 80 trophies so far.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you've been in at least 80 pageants, right?
Yes.
All right. And you want to be a model when you grow up.
Yes, I do.
Who is your favorite model now?
Mary Therese Frio.
Mary Therese Frio. All right. And is that when you decided you wanted to be a model, when you saw her?
Yes.
And when did you see her for the first time?
I don't know.
Last year? Year before?
I think.
Year before.
Yeah.
So you did a few beauty pageants before you decided you wanted to be a superstar model.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I've got a little lady right here, Tina Brosius.
Hello.
What are you, Jackie Gleason? You took the microphone away from me?
I'm gonna sing.
You're going to sing tonight? Oh.
I'm gonna sing Broadway Baby for you.
All right. When we get to you, not right now, sweetie pie. I'm going to come to you in just a second, all right? Let me have this microphone because I have a special microphone. Would you be kind enough, sweet lady, to walk for the audience and let them see you, just like you're in a pageant? And now, sweetheart, would you be kind enough to do it just like if you were in a pageant, all right? And now, before you sing, you cutie pie, you, walk just like you were in a pageant, all right? Now, come on back here. Now, come on back here. Come on. How about if I give you a microphone, and if the audience is real quiet so you can hear the music, and you, here, give me 5 first. All right. Now you go. All right. You know when you hear the music what to do. Are you going to go down there, right?
I'm just a Broadway baby, walking on my tired feet. Band put Second Street to be in a show. I'm just a Broadway baby, learning how to sing and dance, waiting for my one big chance to be in a show. Gee, I'd like to be a summer key of twinkling lights, a spark like in the dark, to Battery Park, up to Washington Heights. Someday maybe all my dreams will be repaid. Heck, I'd even play the maid to be in a show. Hey, Mr. Krista, I'm talking to you, sir. I don't need lot, only what I've got. Who left the tube will be spin and a follow spot. Someday maybe, if I work hard enough, I might get to strut my stuff to be in a show. Hey, Mr. Krista, I'm talking to you, sir. I don't need lots, only what I've got. Lots of tube will be spin and a follow spot. Someday maybe, if I work hard enough, I might get to start my stuff. Walking for Iceland, a stick young, I like men in a big time Broadway show.
Now, let me ask you something first. Let me ask you something. And Mom was singing every lyric with you. Watched her mouth moving. Let me ask you something, sweetie pie. Tell me that's not love, pal. She grabbed her mother's hand because she saw that her mother was crying. Now, at least if nothing else happened for this little girl, she learned the kind of love a child should have for a parent.
Thank you.
And this is all
And you do matter. It's not for everybody. I mean, you do have a point in some areas. It's not for everyone. But this little girl loves to do it, as these little girls. But my little girl is something special. And I don't care if anybody thinks I'm a bragging mother. This little girl is special.
Now she's waving to Kim to come down here. Kim, come on down here, sweetheart. And Kirsten, come on down, ladies. Oh, Uncle Morty, sit over here on the side. Get down near Uncle Morty. It's dangerous for pretty girls to get near Uncle Morty. Who has the message for me? Someone has a message, I'm told.
Zip it, Mort.
I'll be right back. Hang in there. We saw some beautiful kids. What happens when this so often happens? I mean, you're a cute little kid and you grow up like me, all right? And you're not cute anymore and you're not pretty anymore. How do these kids take that? After being told that they've been beautiful all their lives, their smile was just perfect, and they, you know, and your little girl,
You don't have to worry about it, because talent prevails, okay? Talent, that's why we're developing her talent. I didn't put Tina in a beauty contest for somebody to tell me she's beautiful. She turned 5 last month.
And what does Warner Brothers want to do with her?
We had a great call from Warner Brothers, and they're thinking of doing her life story up to this point for a movie of the week.
Called you from Warner Brothers? I'm sorry. It sounds like you're getting a routine giving to you. Trust me. Had your daughter at the age of 5 invented a vaccine to cure AIDS, Warner Brothers would not do her life story.
Well, I was called, my daughter was on, they did a terrible segment on us, I must say. Terrible because it was very negative on West 57. Now, the reporters the week before did a very positive segment about my daughter and I, and the producer called me from West 57th and said that Warner Brothers had called her and that they wanted to look at Tina for a movie position. And she sent the tape over to them. And what happened was they sent the tape back and said she's too young. I got the number from Pauline Kenny at West 57th, and I called them and I said, thank you for even considering her. And they said, well, wait a minute. When are you going to be in New York? We're coming to California. We've got to meet because we would like to work on this as a project to do a life story for Tina. And I said, at 5 years old, what's going to be the ending? You know, the ending won't come for years. And they just laughed, and he said, we're developing new projects.
They were laughing. They were putting you on. And some of the people in show business are the cruelest, most miserable, no good that ever walked the face of the earth, all right? Just so you know. Just so you know. And it's not usually the people in front of the cameras on these studio lots. It's the big-time producers, and it's the little phonies. The little phonies who want to make you think they're big. Like the song goes, my Uncle Oscar's on guitar, and I ain't got no Oscar on my mantle.
But what do I do?
Don't let
them
BS you. You look at you use common sense. You got a child you're taking care of very well, I might add, all right? You got a child you're taking very well. Don't be sucked into, we want to do a life story on your kid at 5 years old. The next thing that comes is, we want you to go into our studio and do a soundtrack. No, we only charge you $100 an hour.
First of all,
sweetheart, I've been around it longer than you have.
I wouldn't do it.
I know the scab butts that are out there.
Her agent would have to be involved totally. I mean, it's just, if the people said, if you're in New York, we'd like to meet you. Meeting is one thing. I would never think of negotiating a deal.
If they want to do a movie on your kid, you don't have to come to New York to meet them. They got something called Burbank out there, sweetheart.
That's right.
You live right next to it.
But what do I do? Not even go meet him? I mean,
Yes, you ignore them. You say, please have a letter sent to me requesting what you require. Get it in writing. don't be suckered in so that your kid gets destroyed by a decision that you make that irrevocably changes her life. Let me go to Betty. You're a mother of, as a matter of fact, you're Kim's mom.
Yes, I am.
You've heard a lot of discussion tonight. I'm sure by this time you've made up your mind.
I agree with Tina's mother because my daughter has been in pageants for 2 years now, and we have a child psychologist in the family, and from time to time sees my daughter and says it hasn't hurt her in any way. In fact, it's giving her confidence and poise, and beauty pageants aren't just for beauty. Some of them are...
Why do they call them beauty pageants?
They call for
Why don't you call
appearance
them
and
talent
personality
pageants?
and talent. It's not just beauty.
Where
it's
are the
inner
fat
beauty.
kids?
My friend...
Where are the diabetics? Where are the kids with acne? Where are they? This is crap. All you're doing is
Just in case you want to get up in his face, you got it.
Now I know why his wife left him.
Obviously, you are desperate, lady.
I'm not desperate.
Yeah, you are desperate.
I have a wonderful daughter, and she's not exploited in any way. In fact,
She's already to the psychologist at 5 years old. You're screwing her up.
No, I'm not.
This kid is on the shrink's couch already.
No, may I please speak? My daughter has a friend who has heavy set, and she's into pageants too, and she has just as many titles as my daughter, and she's heavy set, and it's her personality and poise that gets her there. Yes, she is fat. She is heavy.
Just checking.
She's heavy.
You know as well as I do that somebody who's fat in a beauty pageant is the exception to the rule. It's man bites dog.
It's her talent. It's her talent.
It's that incredible talent at 5 years old that does that, huh?
Yes, it
Who
is.
teaches her the talent,
She's
Betty?
heavy.
Wait a minute.
Do you teach her how to sing? Do you teach her how to dance?
The dancing schools teach her how to dance and sing. And
I love the implication
my
that
daughter
somebody
isn't a brownie.
who is fat
My
could
daughter,
not be good looking.
she is good looking. I think I'm fat myself.
There are fat
and
kids,
you
and they
can
get in it
have
to
a nice
better
appearance
themselves.
on being fat.
They do.
Well, fine.
All right, let me
and
go
you're
to
not.
Hildy for just a
I
second.
know.
all right?
That's
Wait a
why I can
second.
talk
Sit
about
there.
it. Go for it.
Am I in it for
Hildy
myself?
Horwig. Betty,
Are you in it for
Betty,
yourself? Well, that's a good
Tom,
question only you can
sit there,
answer.
guys, for just a second, all right? I want to introduce you to a lady by the name of Hildy Horwig, who many of you maybe know. She was Miss USA, I believe, in 1975, and she's a working actress, all right? Let me go to you, Hildy. You won the Miss USA contest.
Yes.
Considering your experience, it would seem to me you are obviously all in favor of kids getting in these pageants.
No, not necessarily.
Why?
I feel to a certain point they're being exploited. I feel that a lot of parents launch their children into things that the children are totally unprepared for. Okay, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with this mother here. Okay, but there are some mothers. I've judged many beauty pageants.
Are these pageants fixed? Is there
I don't know
sexual
for
contact required?
No, I don't know.
None?
No, I've never heard of anything like that. I can't say that. Okay, I only know what
sure
I've
you're
gone
not
through.
shaking your head. Who in the hell is going to
But
be
I
so
grew up in
sick
this
of
America system, and I can honestly say that it's a clean system.
Okay.
Very
Listen,
clean.
all I find about pageants, back then, 1975, it cost me $25 to buy a gown, $25 registration fee. Today it costs thousands, all right? I find it's a ripoff. I don't see the purpose in it. I really don't. If I can't even say it helped my career. Okay, whatever I've accomplished up to now, I've done it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting the pavements, going to agencies, making my rounds, what every other working actor tries to do, all right? As small children, I have judged a beauty pageant several months ago in here in Manhattan, and I've seen children come up where they were totally prepared for what they were supposed to say, and there were certain children who came up and they stood out in front of the microphone crying, didn't even know which way to get off the stage, totally confused.
That's wrong.
No, I've seen that.
No, I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying that's wrong, that someone would let their child be put in that position.
Well,
It's
the thing
wrong
was,
that the people who run the pageants would allow that to happen to the kids.
you're
It's
the mother.
another form of exploitation. I
Or the
disagree
mother.
with damn near everything the National Organization of Whoopies stand for, all right? But they're right in that sense.
Now,
That is
these children-
exploitation of kids.
That's right.
Before our audience speaks, Tom, let me come back to you for just a second. Obviously, you and I gotten involved in a business that doesn't require good looks. But how do you think these kids are going to react at age 10 or 11 when the braces go on and when they start getting zits, all right?
Well, you got to wonder, because these kids get an incredible amount of attention. And the fact is, you don't control the way you were born, if you were born cute, if you were born good-looking, or if you were born fat and with pimples.
I'm going in for some plastic surgery during the break.
Well, there you go. The fact is that
Well,
these
I'm going to
kids...
come out looking like her.
These kids
Or
will
Michael Jackson.
These kids are going to get to be 10 years old, and they're going to find all of a sudden they're not getting the attention. I mean, look at some of the child stars. Remember that really ugly redheaded kid named Mason Reese who was making all those commercials in the 70s?
Oh, yeah, but hey, he made money on ugly.
He did, but now look at him. He's an old, ugly kid, and he can't get at work. You haven't seen him anywhere. It's all over for him.
You talk about braces, all right? Did you ever have braces?
No.
You should have. We'll be right back with our audience, all right? Yeah. We've all heard the arguments. We've listened. I wanted to go to Tricia for just 1 second. You had a comment, before we go to the audience, quickly, a comment on what the money should be used for, how it should be applied, etc.
I just think the enormous amount of fees that go into these dresses, gowns, for grown-ups and for children, that range anywhere from $500 to $10,000 a gown, that are being spent on their makeup, on their runway. They should be putting it into headshots. They should be putting it into acting training, modeling training. They should be with professional agents. If they want to be discovered, they should be in a professional arena, not exploiting their beauty and being raised with the values that because they're little beauty queens, they're not going to get by on their looks. They have to be talented. So put your money where it's going to pay off for your kids, for heaven's sake.
This from a lady who is a casting agent. Good, pal. You guys go now. Got it. Go.
All right, what I want to say is the gentleman that was up before, he mentioned that the girls that go into these pageants, when they turn 10 and they put the braces on and they gain a little weight, then they're completely excluded from the industry. Well, I'd just like to mention that the fact that this is a professional industry would suggest that this industry entails certain risks and entails certain disappointments, and the girls that go into this and the mothers that allow them to go into this are very well aware of the disappointments, and what they have to do is they have to counsel these children and make them aware of the road that lies ahead. Just like professional athletes go in thinking that they will make the majors.
And start their training at a very young age, sometimes 4 and 5 on the ice skating rink.
And I get
Go ahead, pal.
When I was 5, 6, 7 years old.
You're going to tell me you were in a beauty pageant?
No. But if I failed at something, I was devastated, absolutely devastated. Nothing my parents said could bring me up. How do you talk to a 5 or 6 or 7-year-old on the way home from a pageant after losing? What do you tell them? They must be devastated because they didn't come in first.
No, you don't take the child to the pageant with any image of winning. It's a participation that they're doing.
You don't, maybe, Bev, but a lot of mothers do. Wait a second, quickly, let me tell you. I go with a young lady who's been dancing since the time she was 2. And many times when she was brought home from a dancing contest and didn't win, she was told she was lazy, she didn't concentrate, she didn't look well that day. You can't do this stuff to little kids.
No, you don't, and I don't do it to Tina. I see Tina, do the best you can do if you want to do it.
It's obvious you don't, but it's obvious that others do. We'll be back with the audience in just a second. Here I am with my best girlfriends I ever had, and I want to ask you something. Did you enjoy yourself tonight?
Yes, I did.
And where are you going from here? You can only go up, sweetheart. Maybe next you're going to do Geraldo and get a broken nose?
No.
Where you going, sweetie pie? What comes after this? How about Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny? Nothing, huh? How about you, Miss Silence? This kid takes the mic from you.
I
What
don't know where
chutzpah?
I'm going next. Warner Brothers, probably.
Well, Mom's got you excited about that. Warner Brothers, sweetheart, probably in about 25 years, okay? Before that, a lot of fun, a lot of dolls, a nice mom, a lot of friends. And nobody knows better than I do. I was brought up in a cruddy show business family with a couple of aunts that were actresses, one of them still alive, father who was a singer. One good thing, they wouldn't let me anywhere near show business. They figured I'd wreck it. But I waited, and I got back at them, because I'm here to wreck it now. Good night, everybody!